I've actually been keeping from her. Like, I'm done at it. Like, I'm finished. To be honest, the car thing is nowhere near as bad as the secret I'm keeping from her. When she finds that out, she's gonna go crazy. She's gonna go mental. I'm dreading that. I'm absolutely dreading that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm expecting a fourth child.
Whoa. Hey, lovelies, and welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Today we're going to be talking about Blue Therapy, Season 1, Episode 4. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen that this man said he's expecting a fourth child, and we are going to get into it. But if you're new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe. I do commentary on reality TV shows and everything in between. So please make sure you subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Also, please give this video a thumbs up and please make sure you share. Now, let's get into this. So, for this new episode, they decided to introduce this new couple, Lucky and Anna. So, Lucky is 23 years old, believe it or not, and Anna is 31. And the big issue that these ones were having is that Anna feels like, well, Lucky needs to provide a little bit more. She wants him to, he does work, he works part time, but she wants him to work a lot more and maybe get a second job so he can be able to take care of more things around the house. Now, Anna has children as well and also wants children with Lucky, but she feels like they're not yet financially stable. And this is the thing, right? This is my personal opinion on this. How are you 31 dating a 23-year-old and expecting him to be a provider? Am I saying that there aren't 23 years old or year old men who can provide? No, absolutely not. I have met some of them, right? But that does not mean that you will meet one who is able to provide in the way that you want him to. What's interesting is what she does say is he pays for things, he pays the bills generally, but he's not providing her the life that she wants. So, to the standard of what she wants, right? So, she's like, sometimes, there isn't spare. And I understand no one wants to live in any sort of relationship or any sort of thing where they are not, or where they feel like they're not being provided for, or they don't have enough money and they're living from hand to mouth. And I get that. But what got me was like, apparently she works 4 or 5 days a month. I'm like, okay, girl. So she does talk about how being a parent is like her full-time gig, and she does like the 4 to 5 days every now and then. I get it. But if you're worried about finances, then my thing would be, what can you do to also try to bring in money to pay for stuff, right? Now, before you guys come for me and be like, think I'm saying like, oh, he shouldn't be a provider. No, I very much like to be in relationships, or in a long term relationship where my man is the provider. Absolutely, 100%. I love it even if I have my own money. It helps me to feel like, ooh, he got it. I like it and I get it, right? I don't ever have to worry about money around you. I like that kind of vibe. That's my jam, right? However, if you're dating a 23-year-old, I feel like she needs to sort of manage her expectations a little bit. This man is currently a student. If he's doing all the sorts of hours you want him to do, he probably will not pass his course because he's out here doing all these mad hours. But instead, he works part time to be able to take care of things and also is a student. I feel like she's expecting him to be at a level of someone who's fully working, who's working full time. That's not going to happen right now because he's working part time. So you as the spouse would have to determine whether do you want to leave him and find a man who can provide, or alternatively find a side job, find something that requires you to work from home. You can still take care of the kids, but get a little bit extra on the side. Like, at the end of the day, right? Like you said, he does pay for stuff. He's doing his best, but you want him to pull his weight a little bit more. I get it. This is where I thought they were both mad. And I'll tell you why. She talks about this man ain't really providing well enough, right? But she's talking about wanting to have 7 kids. 7 kids. Of course, she tries to clean it up a little bit and says, well, financially, I think it may be 5 because of financial constraints. Okay. But even 5 kids is a lot of kids. And I'm not one of those people that will police people and say, oh, you can have as many kids as you want to have. That's a personal decision. But it doesn't make sense to be thinking of having 7 or 5 kids or whatever you all decide to have when you're already struggling as it is. There's no point bringing children into the mix. And someone could be listening and say, oh, they didn't say they were struggling. Well, she was talking about how they don't have spare. That is struggling. You can't do things you want to do. You can't go on regular dates. You can't travel. You can't do more of that. You can't do as much. You don't have enough to sustain the lifestyle that you want. That is struggling. You're not there yet. And that's okay. That just means like, at this current or present moment, you just need to work towards it and save as much as you can and invest and do whatever it is you need to do to bring your money up. I get that. But at the same time, I think she needs to have patience for this man. He's 23 years old. He's even the fact that he's even stepping up at 23, like big up, Lucky, right? So all of these expectations that she has, I'm not saying you can't have your expectations, but you chose this man knowing fully well he's a student. And this is one of the things I don't like that people do. Why choose somebody, right? Imagine you choose somebody knowing fully well that they're not exactly what you want, right? Like I understand compromises and stuff like that, yes, but if you're willing to compromise on something, then there's no reason for you to keep bringing it up constantly. Because one thing he said was like she's always bringing it up all the time. So like I would be like, girl, you need to dial it back. You keep doing the most. Anyways, let's move on to another couple. Tammy and Tang. So Tammy and Tang talked about quite a lot of things. I'm not going to go into too much detail about them because I don't really find them that interesting. But if you guys want me to cover them a little bit more than I do, let me know in the comment section below. But I will cover them just cover the things that stood out to me. So Tammy said something interesting, and she was like, she told Tang before Tang was going to meet her dad. Now, bear in mind, her dad is Nigerian, and she was saying that she was telling him how he needed to greet her dad and prostrate and all of that just to say hello. And he was so adamant. He was like, he's not going to bow down to anybody. This is my thing. If you say you really, really love someone, you would want to impress their kin. You would want to impress their family, their folks, right? You want to find out how can you be respectful? How can you, do certain things and embrace the culture? The fact that he ain't trying to do all of this concerns me for you, Timo. He don't even want to marry you, Tammy. So like, it's already looking sketchy, mama. And now he does not want to bow and prostrate to your dad, right? Like, I appreciate some people feel like, oh, it's bowing down. I don't want to do that. That's not my culture, blah, blah, blah. But out of respect for your wife's culture or wife to be or girlfriend or whatever, right? Why not just do it? And even if you don't want to do it, then don't be so dismissive. Just say, I don't really believe in the whole bowing down thing, blah, blah, blah. Here are my reasons. But I hope I highly respect your dad, blah, blah, blah. Right? You could do that. Don't be like, oh, I won't bow down to anybody and then minimize and then be very dismissive of her culture just because you don't understand her culture. Even if you don't agree with it for whatever reason, right? You are it's enough for you to still have some respect for her culture. At the end of the day, you have a child together, okay? So That child has a black man blood in her, honey. That child does. Okay? So whatever you want or you're trying to run away from, the blood, the culture, still gonna be in there. Okay? So say what you want. I just feel like he does not really rate her that much. He doesn't even care to impress her family. The way he talks and he's like, oh, he has no filter. I'm like, the fact that you can't even have some filter to meet your in laws, that is a problem, sir. You don't rate her, you don't care enough to respect or to impress her family. That's a problem. That does not look good. Tammy, run. If you're listening to this, run. Don't stop running. That man has no plans of marrying you. That man has no plans of choosing you first, taking steps to make you feel better. He's very dismissive when you're talking about how you feel about something. He says something stupid, then laughs, 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 laughs. I don't even know how you deal with him. Like, I would have done something mad and I'd have probably ended up in jail to him because he is so annoying. But anyways, let's get back on track. The other thing she did mention was that he doesn't want to try Nigerian food and that the only thing he tends to eat is like just jollof rice and that's it. And then he says he doesn't like anything else. But the problem is he hasn't tried it. And my thing is, you can't say you don't like something if you haven't tried it, unless you are specifically saying, oh, I don't like the smell, I don't like the look of it, I just don't like it. That's not good enough. What don't you like about it? Right? And yeah, like either way, though, at the end of the day, this is your spouse. This is the person you have chosen to be with, right? Why wouldn't you want to experience their culture? Why wouldn't you want to experience different things? It just doesn't make any sense. Like your child is going to be quarter Nigerian, I guess, right? So I don't understand why you aren't willing to at least try it or at least be less dismissive of it. The way the whole time he kept laughing, being so dismissive, yeah, that's just not on. Anyways, let's move on to another couple. Actually, let's before we move on to another couple, let's talk about these people. So, Marie had a conversation with one of her friends called Amy, and Marie was basically telling Amy that she's so pissed off and that she found out that someone keyed her man's car, right? Her man is Tunde, right? So she found out that someone keyed Tunde's car and left her initials on the car. I'm like, bruh, that is a girl that Tunde is definitely dealing with, in my opinion. I don't know any person, man or woman, that will just randomly key your car. That's just mad. That's just a madness. And not just a little key, like the person really put, do you know how hard it is to key a car? The sounds, it's the worst sound ever. And so the person kept going round and round and round and kept doing that to your car. That person was pissed. To be pissed. And so yeah, Marie was basically saying that, she believes it's a girl and blah blah blah. And her and Amy were just talking about that. Marie was basically saying that she is going to leave him if he continues like this. She knows she can get another. I'm like, girl, stop saying it and be about it. If you want to leave him, leave him. I would love to see you leave him. I'm not even trying to be funny, guys. I really pray she does because this man has taken her for idiots. He is taking her for a fool. So she needs to wake up and, girl, you better wake up and smell the coffee, honey. Mm-mm. Like yesterday. Now, I didn't really take a screenshot of that part, but her skin, Marie's skin is beautiful. If you ever see her skin, like, wow, her skin is like glass skin, honey. Like, That money is definitely working well, sis. You are putting it to good use on your face. Definitely appreciate that because the skin was skinning. I will say that. Now let's move on to the next couple. Oh, it's not even the next couple, is it? Still, it's not even the next couple. But this is Tunde on the right hand side. If you don't know who Tunde is, Tunde is taking his friend to show his friend the keyed car. Guys, are you ready to see the keyed car? Let me show you. I took a screenshot of the keyed car for you guys so you guys can see for yourself. I'm like, I'm not gonna see this just by myself. You don't need to see it. Oh, look at that. Do you know the amount of patience, anger that will make someone do this? The level of scratches are beyond anything I've seen before. And I've seen certain people scratch people's car. It's never been this deep. Like this person was like, ooh, I'm gonna do doo-doo all over it. Like this person was like, yeah, I got something for you today. I got something for you. As if that's not mad enough. Like the person left their initials on it. If I'm not playing with you and catch me if you can as a person, mm-mm, that would be that person that did exactly that. Mm-mm. Yeah. Mm-mm. Very, very odd. Now let's move on to a little bit before that. Tunde actually shared with his friend that he was expecting a fourth child, and that was what was in the clip that I showed you earlier. So I'm not going to go back into it. If you guys want to go back and rewatch it, go back and rewatch that clip. It was given what? You are expecting a fourth child. Now, for those of you who don't have the context, I'm going to keep it real quick. Tunde has 3 children already, right? He had those children when he was on a break from Marie. Now they're back together, but he has a child on the way. You know? Now, my thing is, you have a child on the way. How, Sway? How? Where are you with Marie? When did that happen? Like, I need a timeline and I need answers. And so at this stage, Marie doesn't know yet, but he shared it with his friend earlier in the episode. So we don't know when we're going to find out, but I'm sure we're going to find this out down the line. And it's going to be intense. It's going to be intense. Now let's move on to Tunde and Marie here. So Tunde and Marie here were pretty much just discussing the issue of the keying. And so I'm not really going to go into it, to be completely honest. At this stage, I just think, I've already like talked about it a little bit. I don't really think there's any point in repeating what I already said in terms of the keying. But yeah, Tunde definitely, you have a lot to hide. Also, Marie talks about the fact that Tunde needs to trust her and that she's not done anything. She's not doing anything. She's a very loyal woman. She just likes to travel, and he needs to trust her. It's interesting that he said yes, right? But I feel like the reason he did that was because he knows sooner rather than later. And at some point, the news is going to break out and she will see it. So it's almost like, let me keep her on her best side for now. Let me not be part of, what may potentially become, so that's sort of the way I'm thinking about it, right? And it is just clear that Marie needs to head out. This man does not trust you because he's out here doing something, doing things that you're not doing. So, my G, wake up, Marie, smell the coffee and run. Don't let the door hit you on your way out. But that's your choice. Now let's move on to the next couple. Sean and Ray. So Sean told Ray that he had sexual contact with her best friend before he met her. He said that they met on Hinge and he basically matched with her. They met up when the car, did sexual acts in the car. They did everything but had sex. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I know a lot of people don't count oral sex as sex. says oral sex, but anyway. So is he trying to tell us that he did oral sex, or are we saying that he didn't do that and he did other things? It'd be nice to just have that clarity, I will say. But either way, he had sexual contact. So they didn't have sex, according to him. They had sexual contact, right? And that was when it was getting like mad, right? So they had sexual contact. Of course, Ray is talking about being upset and all of that, which is completely understandable. I personally think that when you're starting a relationship, it's best to start on the foundation of truth. There's no reason to be lying. It's not advisable to be lying. People start expecting something from you that you can't give. So you need to be clear on who you are from the start, what that looks like, what that looks like rather, from the start, right? Instead, he did what little boys do and say, "Oh, your friend likes me." No, you know what you and the friend have done. So you saying to her, "Your friend likes me," is a load of crap. Not right. If anything, now you look like such a liar. So the whole time you're saying your friend likes me, I think your friend likes me, you had already done something with her. Granted, it was before, Ray, but still, even if it's before Ray, still think about it for a second. You should have told her. She has to be hanging with her bestie, not knowing that you guys almost smashed. Seriously. So, not looking good. Not looking good at all. Now, guess who had her own little secret to share? Ray also had her own little secret to share. And I was like, I was just caught unawares by that. I was like, Ray, girl. Funny enough, a part of me kind of was like, could she be lying when this issue first came up earlier in the earlier episodes? But I'm gonna play it for you guys so you guys can see it for you.
Something. I feel like I just want to put it out there that when I was out there, I did meet up with a guy.
It turns out it's not only Sean that has been lying. Ray has also been lying as well. So I can't wait for them to cover it. But Ray went to Paris to see a man. When you have a man, girl, that is not looking good. But yeah, that's where the episode ended. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the episode. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And tap that bell for notifications so you know every single time that I post. So if you guys notice, I'm trying something different in terms of how I present blue therapy. And the only reason being is because the previous videos that I've made for you guys kept getting messages about copyrights and copyrights and copyright. Luckily, I didn't get a copyright strike, but I just thought maybe I need to change the format a little bit and see whether this works for you guys. If not, I will need to figure out a way to still avoid getting copyrighted and still play the clips for you guys as I was doing in the previous episodes. But if you guys can do me one favor by letting me know in the comment section below which of them you prefer. Do you prefer me just talking through it like I'm doing in this episode? Or do you guys prefer me playing the clips like I used to do on previous episodes and then talking about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys, and I will see you later. Bye.